committee positions. He is also co-president of the European Parliament's Intergroup on LGBT rights. Michael formed the Stonewall Group in the UK in 1989 and was its founding chair. Michael has been a member of the Labour Party since 1975 and served on the Labour Party's National Executive Committee between 1998 and 2012, chairing the NEC in that last year. He received a Special Service Award from the American Association and an honorary doctorate from Staffordshire University for his work in the field of human rights. In 2007 and again in 2012, he was awarded the title of MEP of the Year. He also received the European Diversity Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012. Michael? Michael, please take it.
Chair, conference, thank you very much indeed. I must say that was a bit like listening to my obituary. And the last time I was in this hall was to bring fraternal greetings on behalf of the Labour Party to the Trade Union Congress, and I ended up doing an impersonation of Eartha Kitt. I promise you I won't do the same this afternoon. Now, I've been asked to speak about a whole range of things, but I think I'm famous.
Yeah, I just because I didn't know I was doing this interview. I was just asking a bit of background, really. Yeah, just no, sorry, mate. I was right, excellent. So I was going crosstalk music interview. It said on my paper. Right, I should just go for it now. Right. Hello and welcome to this month's Crosstalk interview. Today I'm joined... No, let's start again. Hello and welcome to this month's Crosstalk interview. Today I am joined by Yvonne Stewart-Williams, activist, campaigner and Christian. Hello, Yvonne.
Hello.
So, could you tell me a little, or rather explain a little about the campaign you're working on?
Okay. Right, the campaign that I'm working on, there are a few, but one of them is that currently I'm a commissioner for the Schizophrenia Commission, and it's a national schizophrenia commission that takes on evidence from people who are affected with schizophrenia and their loved ones about the way that they've been treated, the way they feel about themselves as being diagnosed with that diagnosis, and the lifestyles that they've had to live, and their personal view of their prognosis and what has been ascribed to them as being a possible prognosis. Also, I'm a lesbian and gay campaigner because, not just because I'm a lesbian, but as well as the fact that I'm a lesbian, I do campaign for Stonewall and stuff, and as well as campaigning for Stonewall about things like gay marriage and the equality of, and things like like the fit videos, sort of like making sure that people have the children in primary schools and secondary school are brought up without homophobic bullying and stuff. I do campaigning on, the last campaigning that I did in the church was at the Anglican Synod a few months ago, which was about Christians, clergy, lay people in the church, the Anglican church, and their equality within that arena. Right. And stuff. And on Saturday I'm going to be going to this thing by UNISON, which is a conference. It's a third conference for homophobia and transphobia, and it's faith-based and stuff. It's supposed to be the sort of like quashing that happening in the workplace and everything like that. So yeah.
Right. Could you explain to us how your faith influences your work and helps you, to keep on going?
Right. Well, my faith is at the foundation of everything that I do. Like I'm a Christian, I believe in it wholeheartedly. Now, I might have, like one may say that she's a lesbian, how can she be a Christian at the same time?
That's kind of what I would have asked, yeah.
Well, but my sort of like view is that, like for me, Christ exemplifies being like, for me, Christ may have been a gay man, and that's the way I see it, and so I love him all the more because of it, because like he's non-judgmental, lack of like discrimination and everything like that, and his approach throughout his life, or what has been perceived, what we read as being his life, it shows that he has been sympathetic, empathetic, compassionate and fair of judgment to people such as prostitutes, lepers, and all sorts of discriminated against people. And he has taken the ultimate, made the ultimate sacrifices in losing his life for the things that he believes in, such as like gay men or lesbians and other people, like. And I think that back in the day, him being 33 years old, not having any children, not having a partner, being surrounded by men, like for me, the modern day equivalent is almost like a gay man.
It sounds pretty gay to me, yeah.
So like I sort of like have that belief in my heart of hearts, and because of that, and because Jesus is the foundation of Christianity, he's the crux of why we have Christianity, right? I believe in it all the more.
What do you say to those who disagree with that? I mean, in the church, what's your view on them?
Well, to be honest, everybody can have their beliefs.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, for me, like I don't necessarily, which could be quite controversial, but I don't necessarily understand the concept of God. There's a God of my understanding, that I do understand. And so like I believe in a higher power or a universal law of life. But at the end of the day, everybody's got their different beliefs and stuff, because like if you were supposed to take the Bible literally, like and talk about virgin birth in this day and age, I mean that would be a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, I think so. Why is it important for you to be able to marry in a church if the church doesn't really appreciate you?
Well, I believe in equality. I believe that equal rights is my human rights, and as Hillary Clinton recently did a speech at the United Nations for the Rights Day, she actually said the same thing. And the thing is, like at the end of the day, whether it's a man or a woman, whether it's a woman and a woman, whether it's a man and a man, like at the end of the day, two adults who love each other, who want to make their commitment work, who want to express it to the world and to God and to have it sanctified in that way, should be allowed to.
Exactly, yeah. Sorry, Matt, just give us a moment. Good. Have you ever questioned your faith, and how did you resolve this?
Yes, I've questioned my faith on a few occasions, but the one sticking factor, the real sort of like crux of it, and how I resolved it in the end, was there were a few things. One, when I was at my lowest, and then Bishop Reverend Gene Robinson became the first gay bishop of the Anglican Church.
Right.
That absolutely cemented, like my faith, and I believed that, like that was a calling, that was a testimony. And when I actually met him, and I met him twice, and that was you know, like a further sort of like a confirmation that I should continue on the path of being a Christian, not just an agnostic or an atheist or something like that, though, you know, like, but being, you know, like, if you like, a sort of like an atheist Christian and stuff. And the other way in which I sort of like cemented my faith was when I read The Who's Who of Lesbian and Gay History by Witherspoon and Aldridge. And in there it had Jesus was mentioned, but also my namesake Stewart, King James Stewart, and you know, like, and he's sort of like, you know, like having the King James version of the Bible and stuff like that, but also sort of like reading about him and realising that he too conducted himself within same-sex relationships and stuff. So like it made me feel that, oh, okay then, if he can sort of like be a firm Christian and sort of like go as far as to endorse Christianity and have his own version of the Bible while he was, yes, he was married, but also he was, you know, like he had loved interest of same sex and stuff, and conducted himself within those arenas. And I felt that if he can do that, then I too can do that.
Exactly, yeah. Well, and was that the last time you questioned your faith?
Actually, yes, it was.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
Well, it was a couple of years ago, to be honest.
Right. And finally, I'd like to ask you, what does the word religion personally mean to you?
Well, now then.
There you go.
That's a deep one.
It is a deep one.
Now, the word religion to me personally means, well, there's two words. There's spirituality and there's religion. Now, and I believe, and this is not original, this is what I've heard, and I absolutely endorse it. So I believe that spirituality is for those who have been to hell and come back and they want faith, and religion is for those who fear to go to hell and want faith.
Right. Yvonne Stewart-Williams, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. At the end of the day, for me, you know, like, I don't necessarily, which could be cemented my faith, was when I read The Who's Who of Lesbian and Gay History and realising that he too conducted